Good afternoon. Looks like Lothcat's been talking to himself. I hope you're okay, Lothcat, man. Anyway, how's everybody doing? What's up, Kyle? You just saw a rumor that a live-action Harley Quinn series on HBO Max, but not sure if it's true. That would be interesting. I haven't heard anything yet, so that'd be the first I've heard of it. I've heard of a couple of other things, like some people talking about a Green Lantern movie. You know, we're a week away to the day from DC fandom, which next Saturday is what we're going to be covering on the channel. We won't be having, I'll still be live streaming, but obviously we won't be doing like this. We're going to be covering the event. So it's going to be a fun time seeing all the reveals with you guys if you are able to make it. Good morning from Australia. Well, good morning over there, man. Flying Dead Ninja. Love the name. Good morning from New Zealand. Waking up on that side of the world, man. What's up? Welcome. Did I like the What If finale? I liked it. I think it was a little... I think the action was really awesome. I think the overall storytelling and stuff like that was a little underwhelming. I don't know. For me, I liked some of the individual episodes more than the eventual conclusion that we got. But that's just me. I don't know. I just thought there was like, for me, like I enjoyed it. I turned my brain off. But at the end of the day, there's some things that I can't help but not think about. And I feel like there's some things that they forgot. The people that worked on the show obviously have confirmed that there wasn't really a lot of strong communication between what Loki was setting up with the multiverse and what they were allowed to do in it. So there's some things that contradict each other between the two. Because there wasn't any communication between them. And this was kind of my concern and a lot of people's concern with Feige opening a animation department for for Marvel Studios specifically, was that the more they branch out and they branch away from the live action, the more easier it's going to become to have these inconsistencies and not have somebody able to keep control over all of the different little moving details. So yeah, there's just some things in towards the tail end of the series that, like, when you start to think about it a little bit, it starts to fall apart a little. Definitely lessens the stakes a little bit for me, but I had fun with it. I like their voice performances. I like the animation. I like the fight. But there's a lot of things that, like, were a little underwhelming, personally, to me. But I liked it. Strange, though, was top tier badass. So the Strange we got was awesome. So I'm really looking forward to... I'm hoping we see him more moving forward into Season 2. And they did say that in Season 2, Peggy Carter is still going to be one of our central characters. So I'm curious to see where that'll go in the long run. We are... I don't know if there's a CCBM in here talking. There's also talk of an Agatha Harkness series. I thought that was confirmed. Maybe I didn't read that right. But yeah, I did see that they are looking at doing a Monica Rambeau series and an Agatha Harkness series. So whatever, we'll just roll with it, guys. I'd be interested in watching both. More so the Agatha series, because I want to see more of that magical world, that magical spectrum, and see where that all goes. Good morning from the Philippines. Good morning, John. What's up, Yori? Good afternoon. Hope I'm doing well. I'm doing pretty good today. Woke up a little bit early. I'm trying to upload yet another reaction to a breakdown for all the crap from Squid Game. But for whatever reason, I think YouTube's being a little sluggish today because it's definitely not my connection, at least not right now. But I still got 50 minutes before this video finishes uploading. But yeah, it was the breakdown that Paul at Heavy Spoilers did. So I'm putting that one up on the channel here eventually whenever it gets done. We'll probably be still going on here by the time it actually finishes. Let's see. What's up, Jason? I wish the Watcher actually fought in the What If finale. I thought that too. I was like, well, he defended himself in the last one. So in this one, he decided not to actively fight, to go back to his passive persona and let the team he put together do the interfering himself. But yeah, I did figure that he would have interacted himself as well, because he would have added a lot to the team, but maybe he needed it to play out like this. I don't know. Why would Killmonger need the Infinity Stones if he already accomplished his goal in his universe? Well, he had not yet accomplished his goal in the universe. He had taken over Wakanda. That was not the end of his goal. His goal was eventually to rise up and take the planet back over for his perceived people. So, like, and exact his version of justice upon the world. He did not yet follow through on that. So with him with the Infinity Stones, he could go back and hell, he could rewrite the history of his timeline. He could do whatever he wanted with them. So yeah, that would make his goals cemented in his universe had he actually been able to go back to it. I'm comfortable with putting the What If series as semi-canon until they sort out some of the inconsistencies. I feel you there. Even though they've said these stories are canon, and while they still can be canon, there's some things they need to further explain. And I hope that now, with the whole shifting of the shows around because of COVID, the release schedules having to be moved and all that stuff, like maybe for season 2, they can iron out a lot of this stuff now that we're getting into production for season 2 started for What If and for Loki, that they can talk this stuff out and figure out things, because one of the inconsistencies is the absolute point. From one of the creators and showrunners on What If said that had they known Loki was going to call them a Nexus event and not Absolute Points, they would have changed the name in the show. So the Absolute Point is intended to be the exact same thing as the Nexus events we've talked about in Loki. So it's little things like that that I hope they can iron out moving forward. What's up, Ragu? I'm doing great. Hope you're doing well. What do you think of the That 90s Show announcement? I'm looking forward to it. It's not like a long-winded, long-run show that they've announced. I think they said it's going to be 10 episodes. Kirkwood Smith and Kitty are going to be back. So it's going to be... I don't expect we're going to see a lot of the familiar faces, especially not Hyde, given his current legal situation. But I imagine maybe Topher Grace might show up. Maybe we'll see some of the other people pop up. But I like that it's just their kid going to stay with their grandparents, and we meet the new kids of man, why am I blanking on the name? Anyway, the new kids in Wisconsin there. So I don't know. It's an interesting little premise. It doesn't sound like it's going to overstay its welcome. I love Red and Kitty, so they were always some of my favorite characters to follow. It will feel a little weird not having everybody else around. Who knows? Maybe they can have Bob back, and we can get Bargain Bab back in there. I don't know. I'm curious. I'm optimistic about it. But we'll see. We'll see. As long as it, I mean, it can. I highly doubt with them involved and the original creators as well as their own. Kids are involved in it, so the creators of the original show as well as their offspring are all part of the creative staff that are behind the show, so it'll kind of lend itself to these interesting perspectives that I'm really curious about seeing it play out. Now, that said, I highly doubt, even if it doesn't pan out great, it can't be worse than that 80s show, because that show was a disaster. Did I see the behind-the-scene pictures of Armageddon? We finally have a comic book accurate Reverse Flash costume, and finally a comic book accurate Flash costume. I have. I've seen the leaked photos from the sets on the upcoming crossover event on the Flash. Also heard that Daniel RPK said that there are plans for a Xialing spin-off series dealing with the 10 Rings. Well, I feel like we kind of got that hinted at the end of Shang-Chi when it said the 10 Rings will return. Now, obviously, I didn't think it was alluding to the rings themselves. I understood that, especially given the context of the scene that followed those words, is that they meant Xialing's 10 Rings. Though we didn't know whether it be in a movie or a spinoff, but I figured with that it'd be more setting off a spinoff or a show or something like that. So that I definitely don't I definitely expect as much, especially considering we're getting spinoffs for Monica and Agatha and God knows who else. Oh shoot, what's his name? The guy that plays Jimmy Woo talked about recently that he's gotten good news about a possible future for his character in something coming up. So again, Jimmy might be involved in something, probably the Monica Project or something else. Who knows? We'll just have to wait and see. It's the same announcement as the 80s show. One of why? Who asked for this? Well, that 80s show wasn't connected at all to the show that came before. It was a complete reboot. It involved none of the same characters. It had nothing to do with it. This is at least like kind of like a follow-up, and I think more of a commentary on the changing of times. I don't know. Especially with them considering that it's following Red Kitty and their granddaughter, and not like a, I don't know. It's got potential, but I do was like, who and why brought this up? I always kind of expected maybe a reunion series, but that definitely wasn't going to follow through with everything going on now with some of the actors and people who formerly were part of the show. So we'll see. Star-Lord T'Challa was my favorite part about What If. All the power to you, man. Mine, personally, my favorite part of all of What If has been Strange. Supreme Strange. He was my favorite in his episode. He was my favorite in the team up at the end. And the role he played, gosh, he was badass. And he was very layered. Honestly, a little more complex than the Strange we actually have in the main timeline. But yeah, I'm excited for it. What do you expect from Spider-Man No Way Home? I expect it to twist my brain, show me some things I've always wanted to see in live action. I hope they follow through and give us all the Spider-Man. And I want to see, since we could talk about it now, and I'm going to talk about it. You know, I tried to steer away from Venom spoilers last weekend. So if you still have not seen Venom or have not had the end credits scene spoiled or anything like that, you might want to bail because I'm going to talk about it. So Venom's in the MCU now, and we got the perspective of what it's like to be one of the people from the outside universes brought into this universe. So I don't know particularly if he's going to be the sixth member of the Sinister Six, or if he's going to be maybe an ally of Peter in this, because we're going with the lethal protector angle for the character, and obviously from what we've seen, he doesn't kill bad guys, or he doesn't attack good people or anything like that. So it'd be weird if he somehow gets forced into being on the bad team or whatever. So I don't know. We'll just have to see what they do with it. Because I still do heavily feel like the people that are brought into this universe are having something done to their memories. Because when he comes in, he recognizes Spider-Man, but as far as we know, his universe doesn't have one. So I'm pretty interested to see how that all pans out in the long run. My next pick for James Bond is Henry Cavill, and can get other fan casting as other 00s in new movies. Did not one of the producers realize? All will feel satisfied. Henry Cavill would be good. I'd be okay with Tom Hardy. Honestly, Idris Elba commented on a lot of the fan casting surrounding him here recently, so he's definitely said he would love to do it, but he doesn't think he would or will. So because I think his age is part of the consideration for it as well. Henry Cavill could pull it off. Tom Hardy could probably pull it off. I don't know. I'm okay with whoever they go with in the long run, I think. So we'll just have to wait and see. I'm so excited for the Batman trailer. The Legos look cool too. I haven't seen the Legos thing yet, so I haven't checked that out. So, but yeah, I am excited for the Batman trailer. Because we got a little tease of it in the last teaser trailer for Fandom. I'm excited to see more of that film. I'm really excited for it. What's up, Sensei? What's up, Barry? Flash finally got his gold boots. Grant did it before Ezra. Yep. Yeah, he did. And they had always talked about getting to the gold boots eventually, but they wanted our Barry to earn them. I feel like they've kind of held him off on getting those boots for a little too long, but we'll see. We'll see. Flash is here. Randall Park. That's his name. Thank you, John. Next Marvel Disney Plus 100 million shows is going to be about the lamp from Endgame. I mean, just don't greenlit every single thing. We'll have to see. There's a thunderstorm outside. Hope the power doesn't go out. Oh, it was really bad storming here yesterday, and I'm honestly shocked that our power didn't go out. It was loud. I'm in the minority here, but I didn't like No Time to Die. I loved Ana de Armas, but I felt the plot was just a mess. To each their own. I thought the plot was easy to follow. Thought it was straightforward. I liked it a lot. It's still not my favorite Bond film, but it's like, I thought it was a satisfying conclusion. I thought it worked for me. I wonder if that 90s show is going to follow the same laugh track television format from the original, rather common formatting we have now for sitcoms. Maybe. I would assume so, because they're still going with the same filming techniques, at least. They're still going to replicate the way the original show was filmed. So I would assume we're still going to have like a laugh track thing going on with it. If not, well, I don't think it'll hurt it either way. But we'll just have to wait and see. I hope Miles Morales shows up in No Way Home. I would love that too. Did you notice that they're teasing Jon Stewart a lot on these DC fandom promotions? Man, I'm telling you, David Ramsey announced for HBO Green Lantern series. I hope so. And if it's not with that, because he said he's going to be showing up in the future Arrowverse shows again, like his little run this past seasons with everything is not the end of that story. And he's got more coming about that green box future. If it's not the HBO series, it's going to be something. So I can't wait for it to happen, because I think he would be a great Jon Stewart. Hey Dad, I sent the adoption form last week. Can't wait to move in soon. What's up, SJ? Yeah, we'll just have to see how that goes. What if the black suit we see in No Way Home is actually the symbiote, and given the gold it highlights to control it? I mean, that's an interesting theory, for sure. My only apprehension with that is the glowing emblem that comes out of the chest, but then again, that could be part of the spell that you're mentioning that's containing and giving Parker the control over it, and then the runic webs. So I don't know. Who knows? It could also just be a CGI, like a highly elaborate tweaking of the CGI to throw us off and watch it actually be the symbiote. I forget who it was, but it was Nathan Rojas, who's in our reaction circles. He put out a pretty solid thread on his Twitter about how they could set up a rivalry between this Tom Hardy Venom, this Eddie Brock, and the Tom Holland Peter Parker. So I'd be interested to see how that goes. When Venom sees Spider-Man, he says, "That guy." I think it's possible he's remembering fighting Spider-Man, maybe Tobey Maguire. What do you think of that theory? I think it's very possible. Like the Bugle stuff for his world matches the Bugle stuff from the Sam Raimi films. The only problem with that is we have an Eddie Brock from the Raimi stuff, and that was Topher Grace. Unless Topher Grace forgot about Venom, or they're ignoring and retconning Spider-Man 3 altogether, just getting rid of it and retconning that and making this their Eddie Brock and this their Venom, and that never happened. Also, if they do that, that opens up Sandman to being a villain in this and being against Peter rather than the redemption arc that he had in Spider-Man 3. So there's some twisting and turning they would have to do to make Tobey Maguire be his Spider-Man. But it's doable. It just really involves retconning the shit out of Spider-Man 3. What's up, GX? Ate something spicy and now I'm dying. I feel you, man. The older I get, the less my stomach can handle spicy foods, but I still love the taste and I torture myself endlessly with it. Hope the Speed Force gives Barry the gold boots. I know it's a Wally thing, but who cares? I mean, it is what it is. I don't care either. I mean, it's not like Wally's going to ever be a recurring player in the show. So go with it. Jimmy Woo has quickly become one of my favorite characters in the MCU. I would love to see him be sort of a new Coulson who pops up everywhere. I'm excited to see. We haven't seen the last of him. Me too. And I'd like that. It's like filling in the Phil Coulson role of popping up in all the other shows. So I'm excited to see where they go with that. I like his character. He's had an evolution, and it's been fun to watch, and he's entertaining to watch, to say the least. And like seeing him stand up and like put on the big boy pants towards the end and not just kind of be a punchline, that was also satisfying. Like when he stood up against what's his face, the jerk military dude. I can't remember his name at this point. Oh, No Time to Die is the first Bond film I've ever seen, and it wasn't terrible. Just seemed like a cheesy John Wick. It probably didn't make a lot of sense if it's the first Bond film you've seen. Unlike all the Bonds that came before Daniel Craig, they never really followed up off of their own storylines. And from his first appearance and throughout all 5 of the films, I think there's 5, they have an interconnected story. So I'm surprised you got through it though. But yeah, I mean, James Bond comes from the classic spy genre. Like there's a lot of those elements, like the overtop world-ending stuff, you know, the espionage, the swagger, there's always been talk of like James Bond has been like the pinnacle of the male dream. So it's a lot of those coming together. So if this is your first dive into it, like welcome to the world, man, because it's what made Austin Powers as good as it is, because I just made fun of all of those tropes, and it was a lot of fun. But I've been watching James Bond since I was a kid, so I had a lot of fun with it. Miles Morales exists in the MCU because his uncle was in Homecoming. Yep, he does. We also don't know if he was snapped or if he wasn't, because if he wasn't, that means he ages 5 years, so he could now be closer to Peter's age than when we last saw him, and they could introduce him that way. Thank you, Scott, for that super chat. I'm so excited for Black Lightning, Mia Queen, Alex Danvers, Ryan Choi, and Batwoman and Frost to team up with the Flash. What about you, dude? I'm hyped. You know, I know you all know how I wasn't feeling the season 7 of Flash, but everything I'm hearing about the start off of this event that's kicking off the new season, it's got me excited, especially from some of the leaked set photos that I've already seen. I'm really curious and excited to see what they're doing, and I just hope it doesn't disappoint. I hope that they're able to catch their footing yet again after like a rocky COVID-fueled season, and maybe they can have a more steady production going forward with this. So we'll see. John Stewart is the best Green Lantern, in my opinion. He was my first Green Lantern, so he's always the one that I kind of gravitated towards. Obviously, I've got an appreciation for Hal Jordan that's come later as he's gotten more exposure, thanks to like the animated films from DC. But I grew up with the John Stewart Green Lantern personally, so I'm really excited to see what they do with that character, because I was a little disappointed here that he wasn't going to be in the HBO show. So hope that's not the case, or that there's other plans for him. It annoyed me that Jackie ended up with Fez instead of Hyde, but probably better now with the Danny Masterson stuff. He ain't showing up. Yeah, he definitely is not. And yeah, I was always a little weird about the whole Fez and Jackie thing as well. I really do think it should have been Hyde in the end. I get that. Thank you, Sugar Ray, coming in here just for the wine. Cheers. Cheers to you, Sugar Ray. Thank you so much for that really generous super chat. Thank you. Sugar Ray in here being my sugar mama. Let's see. It seems like DC is using HBO Max as an avenue for DCEU movies instead of series like Marvel does. I mean, they're doing both. They're using it as an avenue for both, because it's not just DCEU that's on HBO Max. It's all of the multiverse of DC, because they're collecting things that are not in it. Superman, Lois, Batwoman. And then they're building out their universes. And there's spinoffs that are not related to the DCEU, like the Batman spinoff, the GCPD show. That's not connected to those at all. So they're building it out as their total DC hub. And I got to expect that the properties that are out there that are still lingering over from their contracts with previous service providers, prior to the implementation of HBO, once those contracts expire, we'll see all of those shows come and make HBO Max their home as well. From what I remember them saying before HBO Max came out, that was always the plan. But a lot of the other shows have these long-running contracts they signed with Netflix and Epics and all these other platforms. But I have to, and from what they said, once those expire, they'll be returning home to the WB channel. So we'll see where it goes. But I feel like we'll have all of DC eventually have its home on HBO Max once all those contracts come to an end. So they're really just trying to build out their multiverse. They got other animated projects coming that are also in their own little spiel. So we'll see where it goes. Grant cameo in the Flash movie with new gold boots will make it even better. I have to imagine they'll reference the crossover that happened to Crisis and the Flash film. And if Grant's not in it, I hope they at least use the scene they already shot. So we'll have to see. Jimmy Woo is Jim from The Office. Isn't he Asian Jim from The Office? I've only seen like 2 episodes of The Office ever. So that's just what I've heard secondhand. For me, it's Hal Jordan with Jon Stewart being a close second. I can respect that for sure. Maybe Monica's spinoff series could be about her being the director of S.W.O.R.D. with Jimmy Woo, Darcy, and maybe Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. characters like Coulson and Daisy showing up. Could be. We don't really know. I'm sure it depends also if it comes out before or after the Marvels, because as to where we can expect to see her, because one or the other is going to provide clues for the other, I would assume. Kind of feel like the MCU Spider-Man is overusing the black suit. Far From Home had the Spider Monkey costume, and now we have this new black suit. Well, I mean, it just makes sense when you're doing like stealth stuff, except for this, like where it's magic. I don't know why it needed to be black. It doesn't bother me, but it just like, it does always make you think of the symbiote suit, at least for me, because the black Spider-Man suit with the symbiote is one of the most iconic Spider-Man outfits out there. And it seems like they're trying to draw on that motif a little bit without actually giving him the symbiote. And maybe that's just how I feel about it. And I feel that you, Kyle, kind of feels the same way as well. But I don't know. We'll just have to see how it plays out in the long run. The Arrowverse has casted Batman, Superman, Flash, Martian Manhunter. We're only missing Wonder Woman, Hal Jordan, Green Lantern, Aquaman. Which one of these 3 would you want to be cast next, and on which show? Well, Atlantis has been mentioned on The Flash. Diana and Arthur were both name dropped in season 2 of The Flash when they were on Earth 2, because Barry in that universe had them on speed dial for some reason, even though on that Earth, that Barry Allen didn't have the Speed Force. So why does he know them? Honestly, I think I'd like to see Wonder Woman, because I still want Diggle to be their Green Lantern in the Arrowverse. So I'd like to see them maybe go at a Wonder Woman route with that. But since they've also mentioned Atlantis quite a bit, I'd be perfectly fine with them going with Aquaman next, since they've already kind of teased that. There hasn't really been any hints or teases other than that season 2 Flash episode that have alluded to a Wonder Woman or even Themyscira in this world. I know they were going to do that Wonder Girl show, but CW decided not to pick that show up after they ordered that pilot. So who knows? We'll see. Do you think the Flash writers were disappointed with last season? I have to imagine they were, if not with their own performance or what they were able to do, but with the reception at the very least. So I hope they kick it up strong with this next season. I think Superman White Canary might show up as a surprise. It's possible. They said there's a lot of things that they have not announced yet for the crossover that is going to come into play. So it's possible. What's up, Roms? How's my day been going? Well, it's been pretty good so far. Had some sandwiches, got me some wine, watched a couple videos, recorded a video, which is still uploading, so it's not on the channel yet, so you guys can check that out a little bit later. It's another breakdown I'm covering for Squid Game. This one much longer and much more comprehensive. It's almost a 40-minute video that I put together for it, so we'll have to see. Gonna watch Venom 2, Black Widow, and Free Guy this week. What are your quick opinions on the 3? Venom 2 is clunky. but it's fun. Think of it like a 90s comic book brought to live action. There's a lot of that cheese in it. There's a lot of this fun, this banter in it. It doesn't go as hard as I wish it would have for having carnage involved, because it says let there be carnage, and honestly, there's not a lot of carnage. There's a lot of carnage the character, but as far as carnage on screen, like blood, murder, death, body counts, anything like that, it's very, very, very tame. But it was fun. It's definitely a sloppy movie, but it was entertaining. Honestly, even though I found this one more entertaining than the first film, I thought the first one was actually better paced, even though I thought the pacing was part of the problem with the first film, and the characters weren't very fleshed out, but I think the first film might actually be a better film, but this one was more entertaining. Black Widow, it was fine. It was just a by-the-numbers Marvel movie. It was extremely predictable. I think the only highlight in the film for me was Florence Pugh and her performance in it. I thought she stole the entire film. The climax was your typical, like, let's ignore physics, and Black Widow probably should have died like 8 times, but it's fine. It was fine. It's not my least favorite. It's nowhere near my favorite. It's somewhere in the middle for me as far as those go. Free Guy, out of all 3 of these, honestly, Venom, honestly, I would say, like, it wins the pact purely off of its mid-credits scene. However, as a film, honestly, out of the 3, if I had to pick one to watch right now, I'd watch Free Guy again. I had a lot of fun with that movie. It was a surprise. I had low expectations for it, but I found it extremely charming, pretty emotional, and I thought it was hilarious. And there's some surprises in there that I don't think anybody was really expecting, especially the people in my theater, because there was a lot of people in my theater that saw these surprises, and there was actual audible cheering. So yeah. And let me get to Scott's super chat. Thank you, man. Again, serious question. Do you think White Canary still has a big part in the future of the Arrowverse, like as a Justice League member? Honestly, I don't know. In the grand scheme of things, I don't feel like the legends matter at all. The show hasn't really been doing anything to make me feel like they matter and that they're involved, even to the point where they've decided themselves to avoid crossovers. I don't feel like they really have a strong place in the Arrowverse anymore. So one of the main reasons I don't give a shit about this next season, they almost, with the announcement that they're bringing Captain Cold back for the 100th episode, that's the only thing that's got me like, damn it, I'm gonna have to tune into Legends when it comes back. I still have not decided whether or not I'm actually going to react to it or not, because that's 4 hours a night for barely, I'll be honest with you guys, barely any views. Like maybe $1 that comes out of that. Like in the long run. And I haven't been enjoying the show. If I was enjoying the show, it wouldn't matter how many people watch it. It wouldn't matter because I'm doing Doom Patrol. It's not like that those videos are getting a lot of hits, but I love Doom Patrol. I have fun watching it. I have fun putting it together. But you guys followed me through season 6 and I really did not enjoy it. So I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth it. I feel, me being like a completionist when it comes to things and wanting to keep up with it, it feels weird for me to not do it. So I still haven't figured that out. Same thing with the Batwoman announcements. All the classic Batman villains that they're announcing for the series. It keeps just raising my eyebrow. And I said I wasn't sure if I was going to be covering Batwoman season 3, and here they are. Like, well, you're not going to watch it, but we're going to have Poison Ivy. We're going to have Mad Hatter. We're going to have Mr. Freeze and Killer Croc. You want to come watch? And I'm like, God damn it. I might have to. Anyway, sorry, long-winded. So we'll just have to wait and see what that. And they're announcing so many Marvel spinoffs. Did you hear the rumor that Daniel RPK, that the Flash movie, we will see Barry visiting past DCEU films and will set up a new Justice League movie? No, I had not seen that rumor yet, or that article or word. That would be interesting. So like a Guardians of the Multiverse, except in this, the Justice League of the Multiverse? Like, is he going to be assembling his own Justice League from various timelines, or is he going to be like I've been saying forever, retconning the DCEU and just starting a new Justice League because the timeline changes. I don't know. Remember the entire world watched Squid Game together last week? Good times. I'm still watching people watch Squid Game because Blind Wave just started it this week. So those are obviously going to be a week. The way they release things, they'll be going through it for the next couple of weeks. The Normies, I think just got out to episode 5. I'm watching Previewed. They just put out episode 5 as well. There's a lot of channels that are still kind of lagging behind, so I think they're going to carry that momentum forward a little bit. I mean, hell, I'm still watching all these videos. I still love seeing other people's reactions so I can kind of relive my own. I'm putting up a Squid Game breakdown of one I just watched today from Heavy Spoilers. It is still uploading because for whatever reason, YouTube's upload today is slow as shit. Dude, I'm still living in Squid Game and I'm still talking about Squid Game. It's hard to compare it with a lot of the other shows that we cover on the channel. It's one of my favorite things I've seen all year long. Let's see. Can't wait for fandom. Me either, man. Even if we don't see this new season of Legends, then I think you should see the 100th episode. We'll see some old cast members returning. Yeah, and see, that's the only thing. I don't want to miss that episode. And I still want to watch it. But I just don't. I might do like just reviews like I used to, because I still don't want to be behind on anything. So I'll still maybe, at the very least, give you guys my quick thoughts on it. We'll just have to wait and find out. Oh yeah, hype for the Injustice movie and season 4 of Young Justice. I just hope season 4 of Young Justice is better than season 3. I was not really a fan of season 3 of Young Justice. I think the first 2 seasons were super strong, but I don't know. There was just something about season 3 that I just couldn't get on board with. And yeah, I'm really excited for the Injustice movie. Some people were able to already watch it, and I can't find it anywhere. Everywhere I say, it says the release date's the 18th, and I can't find it. So I don't know how some people are seeing it. HBO Max is coming to Europe soon. Hell yeah. Oh, well, but not Ireland and UK because of contract stuff. Boo. Well, man, that's where you got to sign up for a VPN. How do you feel about the introduction of the Sisterhood of Dada on Doom Patrol? I've seen a lot of people not liking it, but I enjoyed it. I don't know who the fuck they are. Like, that's the corner of the DC universe that I don't know. The Doom Patrol side of it, I'm very oblivious to. Like, it and Stargirl are pockets of the DC universe where my knowledge is very limited. So it allows me to be really shocked and surprised from all the twists and turns in those shows, because I really don't know where anything's going. Outside of Cyborg being in Doom Patrol, I don't really know jack shit else about any of these characters except that Beast Boy used to be a member. Not in this universe, but in the comics and stuff. That's where Beast Boy originated from, was the Doom Patrol. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything about the Sisterhood of Dada except for what we know from the show that we've seen so far, and I am still heavily confused. Who do you think we see as the 6th member of the multiverse Sinister Six? My picks are Mysterio, Vulture, Scorpion, Rhino from the Amazing Spider-Man. I'd like to see Rhino come back in, but maybe it could be Venom. I'd like to see Mysterio and Venom personally. If I had my top picks, I just don't expect us to get Mysterio back. So, man, I'd like to see Scorpion, but I don't know. He's barely been set up. So I feel like Vulture, Mysterio, or Rhino might be the best picks, but it also might be Venom. But I don't know. I'm not sure. I really don't know. I still like Titans, but this past episode was starting to lose me. These past 2 episodes have been going back into familiar territory of it, just reminding me of like decisions that have been made in season 1 and season 2. And there's 2 episodes to go, and for them to get this far into the season without losing me is impressive, because I hate season 1. Was disappointed by season 2, while I did think it was better than season 1. And I've been enjoying the first half of this show, even though there was a lot of clunky storytelling in the first part. It was still entertaining, and I liked the way the characters were at least acting then. But they went right back to everybody being dumb as hell. I don't know where it's going. I want Hal Jordan in the Arrowverse because Flash Green Lantern friendship is iconic. It is, but this is a very different Barry Allen. And I think it's a little too late in the game to have a Hal Jordan relationship like that, but they could do it. But I definitely feel like from day one, they've been wanting to set up or allude to Diggle being the Green Lantern in this world. Who's my favorite Bond girl? Honestly, I don't know. I've never really paid attention to the Bond girls, honestly. They've been there as eye candy, and I won't not admit that. But I can't remember a damn name to save my life of any of them, except for Halle Berry. So, like, I guess by default, Halle Berry. Legends have stopped, like, at least 5 world-ending events. It's so weird the writers probably smoke crack before writing. Right? And their world-ending events never trigger anybody else to get involved. Even when it's happening in present day, or they never think to go ask for help. And it's just one of these things that happens on all these shows, knowing that they're interconnected. It's like, you know, you can make a phone call and fix this, right? It just always runs into that problem. Ironic that the show called DC's Legends of Tomorrow isn't doing DC stuff anymore. Cancel Legends of Tomorrow. I'm sorry if the others like it, but CW could use more money to make something else. Honestly, I kind of agree at this point. Loving Doom Patrol this season. My main love is with the cast. Every actor brings their A game to every episode, especially April and Diane. Chef's kiss. Diane is phenomenal in this show. Flipping between personalities and all this stuff. Even though we've seen less of that this season, they're doing new things with her character, and that's a lot of fun. But yeah, everybody, all the performances, hell, even what they're doing with Jovian is great as well, with his character arc with Cyborg this season. It's strong. Are you also then waiting for people's reactions to episode 6? Yes, I am, Amanda. Yes, I am. There's so far the only group of people that I've been watching that has got to episode 6 so far has been the rejects. And yeah, it was satisfying. And I keep every time I see it, no matter how many times I see it, I still get misty, dude. I still get misty. So I'm excited to see that. Yeah, it made me sick to my stomach. Actually, episode 8 made me sick to my stomach. That one made me physically ill after watching episode 8. But episode 6, I was a mess. It was so hard to collect my thoughts and actually finish the review portion of my video. Even more difficult was, I think, episode 8 for me, personally. But yeah, episode 6 it came out of nowhere, and it hit me right in the gut, and it was painful. And I can't wait to share that experience with everybody else. So, then see how, is that some kind of weird sadistic pleasure that we get, and also seeing people get put through the same pain? I don't know. Maybe. Will I live stream DC Fandom like last year? That's the plan. That's the plan. And welcome, Amanda. I think this is the first time I've seen you in one of our live streams. Supergirl feels like Power Rangers now, with Rita Repulsa like villain. Yeah, I've been getting that vibe this season as well. I don't know if it's intentional or not. I think before they went on that break, before Superman and Lois, I felt like the show was hitting a different stride. Like, while it was still kind of fun, light, goofy, it had a little bit of this sense of dread to it with the whole Phantom Zone thing. But at the same time, it was still very lighthearted and fun, because Jesse Rath is a god when it comes to physical comedy, comedic timing, and all that stuff. Honestly, despite the writing and what the show's dealing with, it's the actors and actresses on this show that keep me coming back to it, because I think they are a joy to watch despite what is happening around them, because they're just so entertaining and charming on and off screen. I think they're really driving it a lot. But yeah, ever since she got back from the Phantom Zone, aside from the first 2 episodes where they dealt with that trauma of being in the Phantom Zone, yeah, it's been a very Power Rangers-y, with the totems, with the weird zany storylines, the magic and all that stuff. And while Nixley is being a little bit of a Rita Repulsa in her own way, she's going on her own journey, and we'll see where that goes. But she's fun to watch. And
I love Power Rangers, and I every so often I always go back and rewatch the first 3 seasons of Power Rangers because I still love to watch it. And this stream was sponsored by NordVPN. It is not. I do have NordVPN though. What's up, Unspoken Gaming? Curious, where did you rank What If in the MCU shows? All right, so for me, out of all the MCU shows that we've gotten so far, it's at the bottom rung for me. Just in overall quality. I think there's a lot of fun stuff. It's just there's some episodes here and there where it didn't really land or work for me all that well. It was inconsistent quite a bit. But for me, I think it's WandaVision, Loki, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, and What If right now. Okay, that just read that one. Definitely does not get boring. Stay away from spoilers. You'll be glad you did. Hi from Norway. Hey, Anne. I hope you're doing great. What's up? Excuse me. What's up, SSF? Hey, man, how's your week? Doing pretty good. It's not been too bad of a week. I had a little bit of the weird melancholic day the other day, but I came out of it after a little while. No matter how bad Titans has been, in my opinion, it's not as bad as The Flash Season 7. And I'm okay, as long as it's not that bad. I've said this before. Now, I'll say Season 3 of Titans is not as bad as Season 7 of The Flash. But Season 1 of Titans is some of the worst television I've ever watched, in my opinion. Like, easily bottom of the rung for me. What's up, Gi-hun? I'm doing all right, man. Just got me some wine and chatting with everybody. Spider-Man No Way Home's villains doesn't make sense for me because there's villains. The villains do not have the history with the MCU's Peter Parker. That's why I think it has something to do with the memory spell that was cast. I think whatever Strange did coincided with whatever brought them to this world, and that spell has influenced their memory. It's just a little theory that I have, because my theory is, why would they target that Peter Parker except just that he's a Peter Parker and a Spider-Man? I think that the spell that was meant to erase the memories of Peter Parker's identity from the world that he was Spider-Man, that was supposed to erase them from this world, that the people on our world, sure, they lost their memory, but these invaders from other realities that are not part of this world, because they are foreign to this world, had the opposite effect. Instead of forgetting that Peter Parker was Spider-Man, they now think that their Peter Parker is this Spider-Man. So in their minds, I think they see him as their enemy because of this memory spell backfire that happens. That's my theory. Because that puts them at conflict with Tom Holland's Spider-Man, which now that we know from Venom, it's not... There was also the theory that Tom Holland was going to other universes and he was inhabiting other Spider-Men's bodies. I think Venom proves that theory false and doesn't put that in the realm of possibility, but we got to create a reason why they would target Tom Holland, and I think somehow their memories have been affected. So I think that they'll go after him, and then somehow throughout the thing, their actual Spider-Man will come in, maybe in the third act, halfway through the second, and help Tom in the end. That's my guess, but we'll just have to see. What do you mean by he's a different Barry Allen? Just curious. It's just a different interpretation of Barry Allen. Where he grew up, became the Flash. He never really formed that friendship. They've gone through all this stuff. Now, they've teased Ferris Airways before, but... Air Base. But I just don't think that'll... I don't know. I think it's a little too late in Barry's run in this to just kind of try to ease their way into a Hal Jordan friendship. Especially considering they've been setting up other things already. I just think it's too late. And I just, like, while it might be fun to see Barry have that relationship like he does in the comics, I think we just have to accept that it's a different universe, a different take, or anything like that. But we'll just have to wait and see. I'll be starting Squid Game soon. Before I see it, I have to ask if there are animals that die in the series. No. No? No. No. I don't think there's any animal violence in it. I'll give you one thing. There is like I don't know what you would call it, like a meatery. And you see like a fish get like deboned. Like a quick thing. They're like in an open market and like people selling fresh fish. So that's the only thing, and it's one scene. So that's it. Was that scene between Dick and Jason at the end of the last Titans episode supposed to be dramatic? I couldn't help but laugh. I did too. I don't know. Like, I was gasping when he got shot, but like after that, I was like, now he's just getting kicked while he's down. I was like, what the hell is going on with these people, dude? I don't know, man. I did chuckle a little bit whenever he was getting like kicked on the ground. Real Reject's reaction to Squid Game episode 6 was so good. Greg cried. I know, man. I know. Definitely can't wait for preview to react to episode 6. Dude, I love that everybody, with the end of episode 4 with the tug of war game, that cliffhanger got everybody so frustrated. Nothing is worse than Flash season 7. I disagree. Season 1 of Titans is worse than season 7 of Flash. But again, my opinion. I think season 1 of Titans is the worst DC season I've seen of any DC property. What's up, pretty Nikki? What's up, Sheena? You made it. Have I watched Superman and Lois? I've got a reaction to the entire first season. Check them out if you have not already. What's up, Russianese? I thought What If was the best show because unlike the others, it had the ability to just do anything without being too messy or plot driven until the end. Like, I liked it as an anthology, but it just made it to where some episodes were just, in the long run, felt weaker than others for me. So, I don't know. And it was just inconsistent. And I think that's the only way the only reason I would put it at the bottom. It was fun, but it didn't carry as much weight for me as some of the other stuff. I don't know. That's just me. Thank you, Lucky, for the super chat. If all Spideys were in a movie together and one had to die, which one would it be for story purposes? I would have to say Tobey Maguire would probably be the one to take the bullet. He's the oldest Peter Parker. He's the most experienced. And honestly, I think Tobey Maguire himself would like just an official send-off for his character. And so he could also never has to revisit it again. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you feel like introducing how Jordan would take away the spotlight from Diggle. No, I don't think it would take away from the spotlight of Diggle. I just feel like it would just overstuff the universe a little bit. They barely have the budget to even do a Green Lantern at this point, so I feel like if we have introduced 2, it just runs a little bit of a weird risk of like quality over quantity, and I just feel like it would feel rushed to me to just introduce a character like that and then speed run them to this friendship that they have in the comics, because they haven't had the time to build that history. And who knows? I doubt that Flash is going to be around long enough to build out the history if they did introduce a Hal Jordan, if that makes sense. When will Crane wear his mask? I don't think he's going to. I don't think he's going to at all. He had the perfect opportunity to grab it and put it on. In this last episode, he just looked at it, and then the episode ends with him slicing up his face and going, the time for masks are over. Because his arc in this, as we've seen in the last episode, is to not go back to that mask and prove that Jonathan Crane is superior than the Scarecrow. Even though he took that knife, put a couple cuts on his faces, and myself, and quite a few other people were like, oh, he's going to do the Joker thing and slice his face off. Nah, he just put a couple cuts on it. Again, a little weak, but it is what it is. What do you think about Strange Supreme? He is my favorite character in all of What If, and I had a lot of fun with him, and he was the MVP of the entire season in my opinion. I absolutely loved him. Honestly, as much as I love Benedict Cumberbatch and I love what he's done in the main universe, this Strange was honestly a little more compelling and complex, and I liked it. Squid Game season 2, what do you think? I hope so. I hope we get into it. I hope we get a season 2. And guys, if you haven't seen it, I don't want to go into too many spoilers. But yeah, I think I'd like to see to go back and get into a backstory of the people running the games, particularly the front man, like a little more, learn more about him. And I'd like to see more about the big boss behind everything, like how the games got started, all that junk. I'd like to see more of that, but I'd also like to see what happens after the end of what we saw. Yeah, he definitely didn't take the mask. Yeah, he's definitely not going to put the mask on. Especially after a little thing. Why? Squid Game sucks. JK, it's good. Okay, I was gonna say, get the fuck out of here. Nah, everybody's got their opinions. I know there's some people that didn't vibe with it, but I fucking love it. So, with The Flash, I feel like I know all those characters. I still don't know the Titans. They say they're family, but then when they work like colleagues, who sits at different tables in a canteen? I 100% agree with you, Ragu. And they were starting to feel more like a family at the start of this, but they still had to force them into being fragmented by the end of this season. Anyway, right, just had to be a show starting with the Teen Titans, then growing into the Titans. Well, if they had just been a show starting with the Teen Titans growing into, that would have been interesting. But that's not the direction they wanted to go with. Who's my favorite character in Cobra Kai? Oh, man, that's a tough one. It's got to be Johnny. It's either Johnny or Daniel. Out of all the new characters, it's Miguel. Miguel's my favorite character out of all the new characters they've introduced. But probably Johnny. But that's tough because Daniel, man, I still feel like in my heart too, he's a little bit of the main character once he's come back and he's gotten a little bit more time on the screen, because they're just as much equal players in the story now, and I really like that. I don't know, it's tough. It's either Johnny or Daniel. I'll start watching your reaction to Superman Lois after the live. Hell yeah, Nikki, let me know what you think. What's up, Larson? Sorry you're very late. Don't worry about it, man. Don't worry. Just watched your Squid Game episode 6 reaction. Brutal, man. I feel like this show could have been even more massive with week-to-week release. We'd all have lived and died together by the episode. I think it could have, but I feel like this is one of those rare occasions where the word of mouth, the quick binge, spread the word really quickly. I don't know without the binge capacity if it would have had as much of a explosive impact.
Streamer.
It's hard to say. Oh, Nikki, thank you. Love your reactions. Can't wait to binge your Superman Lois reactions. Well, thank you, Nikki. I really appreciate that. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you. But yeah, episode 6, man. Dude, it's my reactions, that's my third highest video on the channel now. It's working. It's looking like it might end up getting to be my second highest. Yeah, it's 10,000 away from being my second highest viewed video, which is insane. Let's see. Is it just me in the past few weeks have been just trying? Is it me, or is this past few weeks been trying just because it's nearly the end of 2021? I don't know. I felt weird this week a couple of times, and I think some of it has to do with Squid Game, like some of the existential questions that it brought up, as well as just general feeling. It's been very muggy here. I don't know. It's been a weird week for me. Titan's Scarecrow actor probably has ego and wants to show his face and not wearing his mask because it's dumb. Well, they've already got legal issues with him on the set. Well, not legal issues, but they've had a lot of trouble with that specific actor on the set itself. To where they've had to get upper management involved and stuff on his behavior on set. So who knows? They've kept a lot of the details of what the events were that he was the exact problems he's been causing under wraps. But I don't know, sounds weird. But I definitely agree. They've had multiple opportunities for him to put on the mask, but he went through that entire psychological back and forth with himself, with what other people have said. We started the episode with him getting upset about the psychological profile that Bruce Wayne had developed about him, which turned out up until this point to be 100% accurate, because he's been doing exactly what Bruce has been saying all through this season. And he's now trying to prove that he is not that thing. He is not the Scarecrow. He is Jonathan Crane. So he's trying to prove that Jonathan Crane is just as imposing of a villain as the Scarecrow. He's trying to surpass his alter ego. So if he puts on the mask, it'll completely contradict this last episode. So we'll see. Who's my favorite character in Cobra Kai? Oh, you spammed that. So I already answered that one. What's up, Emil? Who is my dad? My dad. The pizza guy in Titans that Crane killed is actually Kim's Convenience. In Kim's Convenience, a sitcom with Simu Liu on Netflix that I've been binging and loved it. I heard really good things about it. I've got it in my watch list. It's just one of those many shows that I hear everybody talking about, but I just don't have time to check it out. I want to watch it eventually because not only that, one of the main guys is in The Mandalorian, a big part in The Mandalorian season 2 and season 1, I think. I don't remember, but yeah. Any news about Mandalorian season 3? Nothing substantial yet. Only that I think it begins production early next year. That's kind of all I know right now about Mandalorian season 3. It's looking like Obi-Wan is going to be coming out in March, I think. And we got Book of Boba Fett coming out this December. So, I think Andor finally finished production. That's all I've heard about here recently that I can at least remember at the moment. Did I watch the latest Wheel of Time episode clip released by Amazon? Love the look and the tension. It's written by the book. Gives me so much hope for the show. I haven't. I'm not I have heard of Wheel of Time, but I don't really know anything about it. I've watched the first trailer for it that they put out, and I still couldn't really grasp what was going on. It didn't really pull me into it. So I haven't really been paying attention to any of the stuff that's come out since, to be honest. People are saying that they should kill Superboy because he's too OP. Now, the real problem is, why is Scarecrow the main villain when they should be someone powerful like Blackfire or Lex? I 100% agree with you. Him being there is not part of the problem. He's too OP. Starfire is just as OP, and they keep nerfing everybody. They keep giving us reasons why all of these super powered beings who should easily be able to stop Red Hood and Scarecrow, reasons to not be able to stop Red Hood and Scarecrow. Like, this problem should have been over like that. Found your channel because of Johnny Odell and Gamma Ray. Well, thank you. Yeah, man, those compilation channels, like, shout out to them because they've brought a lot of people this way. What do you think of Tim Drake in Titans? I really like his introduction so far. He's got a different backstory. in background, but they've kept a lot of the core elements of Tim there. And I don't know. I've liked his banter. I like his kind of like awkward attention to detail, like his mind, his detective mind that they've brought to life, and they've kind of represented that quite well. I like it. I like what they're doing with him. I like his I like how they've paired him up with Donna and how they've kind of formed this kind of back and forth. But I'm curious to see if we'll actually see him suit up so far. Good choice. She is okay. What is your opinion on Kreese? I think he is an awesome villain. Martin Kove is a brilliant actor. Sweet dude in real life, but yeah, plays all these hard-ass characters. But I don't know, man. I think he's just the most egotistical, driven, like, maniac in there. However, he still has his shit together. The difference between him and somebody like Terry Silver is a little unhinged, and he will go insane on people. So I don't know. We'll see. You're going to do a reaction video for Dune, not to the film. I'm not going to do reactions to these movies that have these dual releases because I don't want to take away from that. I don't know. Feels, for me personally, and I know other people do it, feels yucky to me to not have the first experience be in theater than in watching it on streaming. I definitely not like against anybody that wants to stay safe and be at home, but for me, I want to see it in a theater, and or encourage that to be the experience for anybody that can actually do it. But I don't know. People, there's a tension for some to avoid seeing the thing themselves after watching the reactions, and feel like it's different with a show in that manner because it's easily accessible. A lot of these shows are just online the next day regardless, so somebody can watch it. It's like easily done. But there's a lot more on the line, I think, when it's a film. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm making sense. Stop spoiling Titans? Then how about you watched it? Watch it! And if you start hyping in on other people, Brawlhalla, I will kick you out of here. What's your opinion on Grace? You already answered that. Stop spamming as well. I mean, I have seen Twitter comments saying, I can't believe that Twink shot Nightwing. I laughed for a while at that. Yeah, that was a little surprising. We'll see. I don't know, man. I don't know. Anyway, I'm at Universal at this moment in time. Well, what are you doing on here? You're at Universal. Be at Universal, my guy. Oh, and thank you for that. Do you think we'll see Grogu in the Boba Fett show? In Boba Fett, I doubt it. I would like to, but I feel like probably not. I probably feel like Boba Fett's going to be very much centered around Boba Fett and the criminal underworld. I highly doubt we'll see Luke, Grogu, or the Jedi in general in there, personally. But thank you for that super chat. Thank you so much. Not caught up on the latest episode of Titans, but don't care if I get spoiled. The season has been okay, I guess. Fair enough. Fair enough. Yeah, my end of the week stuff, unless it's a movie that dropped yesterday, I talk about everything that happened during the week. Spoilers all to the wall. So if I included an image of the thing in the video clip, the thumbnail, expect spoilers for any of the recent episodes of said things. Top 5 favorite dog breeds. Dude, I don't know. I don't know any enough. Husky's probably my favorite, followed by Collie, and then from there maybe Golden Retriever. I don't know. I think that's about as far as my brain can go at the moment. I apologize. I mean, they still could have done Titans, but start the show with Hawk Dove, Garth, Wonder Girl, Roy Harper, and Dick. When do you guys get Dune in the US? Looking forward to hear your thoughts on it. On the flip side, still have to wait another week for Venom, so dodging spoilers has been torture. Well, hopefully you didn't hear me spoil the mid-credit scene. But I always set that expectation. Because last week it was a no-go on Venom spoilers, and so this week it's kind of like free balling on everything. When does it comes out at the end of the month, doesn't it? I think the 22nd. Yeah, October 22nd is when we get Dune, and I'll be sure to give you guys my thoughts on it. Am I going to be doing reactions for Hawkeye? I will. Picks for the Discord. Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean, Stixie? It's my favorite horror movie. Halloween 78, the original Halloween. Eternal showtimes are now viewable on Google, which means tickets should go on sale very soon, maybe this week. I'm excited for the Eternals, man. Really am. Which DC TV show news are you most curious for at fandom? For me, it's Green Lantern and Superman Lois. For me, it's the Flash crossover event, Superman Lois, and the Green Lantern series. For sure. I just saw King Julian run down the street. They made Connor kind of like Q. He's just on computers, disarming bombs, listening for radio signals, can knock out people with a finger tap, though, when the plot allows. I know, it's just one of those things that breaks the plot if you involve him too much. It's in the random section. Oh, dude, nice. I have never been to any of the major theme parks like that. Not Disney, Universal, none of them. One day I hope to, but I have not had that opportunity yet. We saw one flashback to when young Donna and Grayson just talking. It means that season 1, Dr. Light, season 2, Hive, season 3, Deathstroke, Judas contract with Tara, then season 4. You're just structuring stuff. It would have been received better and done better. I don't know about done better, maybe received better. It's just the writing on the show is not that great. Let's see. No, I didn't hear you spoil it. Thank goodness. But I kind of know already what to expect. Something epic. Just need to make it out one more week. I'd just make sure probably not to stick around, because who knows? I can't stop anybody from bringing it up again. What's up, Jerky? Post-credit scene makes watching Venom 2 pointless if you're an MCU diehard fan. I wouldn't say pointless. Questionable. It does raise a lot of questions, but I wouldn't necessarily say pointless. Wonder, has there been any other happenings today? What's been I'm just gonna go through my. And we got rumors on a possible Adam Warlock casting for Guardians 3. Possible Shang-Chi spinoff. I think you guys brought that up. Man, I really hope this Daredevil stuff ends up being true. Really do. Got a quick little teaser trailer for the next 6 episodes of Doctor Who. This season of Doctor Who is only going to be 6 episodes. I already wasn't interested in reacting to it, but it's only 6 episodes, and Russell T Davies is coming back, so maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. I don't see anything new there. The new Chucky series comes out this week. Still not sure if I'm going to watch it or not. Legends and Batwoman both come out next week, so I have to decide before next Wednesday whether or not I'm going to react to them or not. So I'm going to have to make a decision on that quick. Yeah, I think we've kind of covered most of the news that's come about.
Streamer.
The pictures are in the random section. Someone just yelled, "Who is coming over here for churros later?" Oh yeah. Sheena, Haunting of Hill House. Maybe. Let's see. Might do that for this month since it's spooky month. And I've still not seen any of Mike Flanagan's TV shows. Might as well start with the beginning. At least when Certain tries to do Teen Titans, they might be better than Titans. True. Well, everything in the movie before the post-credit scene isn't necessary to watch continuity-wise. That's fair. Which characters do you think will die in the final half of The Walking Dead? Well, we know Carol and Daryl aren't going to die because they have a spinoff coming. Unless an entire spinoff takes place between a time skip that might happen later in the episodes. Honestly, I think Negan might die. I think he might sacrifice himself in the end for somebody. I think Negan might die. Aaron might die. I don't think they're gonna kill Maggie. Maybe they will. I honestly don't know. There's probably Ezekiel might not make it, but I don't know. I really don't know. I'm just along for the ride at this point. We need to add Warlock and Daredevil in the MCU. Adam Warlock's a character I'd know next to nothing about, but as long as it's Charlie Cox's Daredevil, I want Daredevil back in the MCU. Titans ends in 2 weeks. If Batwoman is good, replace it with that. Skip reacting to Legends. That's my suggestion. I'm honestly surprised you're interested in season 3 of Batwoman. But yeah, honestly, Legends in one season fell really hard to me. There are trolls all over the damn place. Yes, there is. Not certain CW. Titan showrunner said in a QA that he'd be interested in introducing Roy and Tara. That'll help the cast size. They can't tell good stories with the cast they have. The size of the cast isn't the problem. They even reduced the cast and they can't give everybody a well-rounded story. Yeah, they need to... I'd love to see Roy. They've teased Roy. Tara would be confusing, considering the time span the show is taking place in, and, you know, Deathstroke's gone. So I'd be curious to see where all that goes. I just want to see Negan and Rick meet up again. That would be amazing. I hope they don't end the main show without Rick coming back. That's all I want. I'm going to be super disappointed if they end the show without another Rick appearance. So, we'll see. We'll have to see. What's up, hun? Are we gaming tonight? I don't know. After the whole Smash thing, I've had a little bit of an itch to go back to Kingdom Hearts 1. Bro, I'm only watching for Poison Ivy. Don't let Batwoman think I'm gonna watch for her. Yeah, I still think it's kind of petty what they're doing with the Wayne stuff and the Kane stuff with all of that. But yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with the new villains. What's up, Sherlock? Hello from Germany. Have you seen the gold boots from The Flash Season 8? I have, and I'm excited for it. I gotta go. A minion is trying to give me a hug while people are shouting over a hot dog. Wish me luck. Good luck! I would love a Kingdom Hearts stream. Maybe. Something just chill. Something to relax to. And I've played those games 1,000 times, and I don't know. I kind of feel nostalgic. I still need to finish that reveal stream, because obviously, how can you avoid the announcement for the final Smash character? It was everywhere. The live stream happened while I was at work, so I didn't get to watch all of it, so I just saw like the little bit of the reveal. And dude, I'm so excited. I was like, unless it's Sora, I don't give two shits who they put in Smash. And I have already reinstalled Smash Brothers onto my Switch and pre-ordered the DLC for it, and I'm ready to go when Sora comes, because whenever it comes out, I'm going to be playing as Sora all day long, because that'll actually get me to play the game. I burned myself out on Smash Ultimate the first week it came out, honestly. Let's see. What do you think Barry is wearing the Reverse Flash suit in the crossover set pics? I have no idea. I honestly have no idea. I swear to God, if if The Walking Dead ends with Rick waking up back in the hospital with everybody and they're telling him you were asleep for a few months and you were dreaming, oh, that would be awful. That would be awful. Do you think they're desperate for new viewers, so they're giving Batwoman all these Batman villains to fight? I think so. For sure. All those Smash nights with people at work helped kill the need to play it more. That's true. It was also so frustrating because obviously I stopped playing. I mean, I had it myself for like a long time, but I played like it a couple of times. I got really burnt out on the spirit board mode. I was like, this is not fun anymore for me. And then yeah, that helped burn it out even faster. Who knows? I might get burned out even if it is Sora, but I'll be excited to see how he plays and how he feels and all that kind of stuff. Regardless, I'll probably force myself through it. Fuck, man, I forced myself all the way through Chain of Memories. I can force myself through some shoddy gameplay. Yeah, but Barry, I do think, yeah, I think they're desperate for some viewers by introducing all these familiar faces from Batman's Rogues Gallery. Because it's still on the low end of the totem pole for a lot of their shows. I hope Flash will have more of a budget now that Supergirl is gone. I hope so too, and I hope they realize that with the success of Superman and Lois, they need to give these shows more love and attention and care. Because that show blew a lot of people out of the water. It was phenomenal. What they were doing with that show, and they just need to do the same thing with the other shows, bring them back up. It seems like a long-running series, there was always it was all a dream ending. Like, what the hell is so damn interesting about that? It's so dissatisfying. Like, it's fun as a twist, but it's just it became one of those, like, it's a twist that when misused is very, very fragmenting. Would have preferred to see Brainiac 5 in Armageddon instead of Alex, but good for her, I guess. Dude, I love Alex Danvers. I think Charlotte Lay is fantastic, but yeah, Brainy is my favorite character on that show. So I would always be down for more Brainiac 5, more Jesse Rath, 100%. Thank you, Yuri, for the super chat. And Sherlock, thank you. I read your question, but I didn't acknowledge it was a super chat. I'm sorry about that. Thank you for that, Sherlock. And Yuri, do you think we'll see Kang again before Quantumania? Before Quantumania? At this rate, I honestly doubt it. Because I'm not sure where he would pop up between now and when Quantumania drops. Actually, hold on. When does Quantumania drop? February 17, 2023. Okay, yeah, maybe. They could easily drop a show in there and have him pop up between now and then. I thought it was a lot sooner than that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Flash won't get a budget increase. People need to get over it. It doesn't go to HBO Max, so HBO Max won't help in return. Barry, I mean, HBO Max doesn't help with Superman and Lois. And like I mentioned earlier in the stream, all these shows are eventually going to be on HBO Max. Have you seen Venom? Us in Germany is coming out in 2 weeks. Yeah, I saw it a couple weeks ago. Had some spoilers earlier in the stream, so hopefully you missed those. Man, I'm going to miss Rick screaming Carl. Me too, man. Tyler was in that 80s show. Really? Dude, that show was so bad, I barely remember any of the people in it. Because, I mean, The Walking Dead already made some dumb decisions like Carl. Like, killing Carl was a dumb decision. That was dumb. I thought that was so stupid to kill off Carl. And the reasons why they did it is so petty. There was also that 90s show. No, that 90s show is coming out. There was never actually a That 90s show. But there is a That 90s show that is coming out on Netflix sometime soon. Now, there was a That 90s show that was referenced in The Simpsons. That was a joke, but yeah. She had a giant mohawk is all I really remember. If Kang doesn't show up till 2023, then it's likely he'll be in another season of Loki before then. It just depends on how long it takes for them to put together and produce Loki season 2. What are you thinking, Sebastian? Kill why Rick Grimes is not in here? I apologize, Sherlock. I don't know. I don't know what you were asking. You always do these reboots and revivals and everything. True. Man, I just want decent writing from The Flash. Expecting Superman Lois level CGI isn't even on my list. That's what I meant. Well, all I said was love and attention that Superman Lois got, and that includes the writing. Like, they need to take their writing seriously, their production seriously, their characters seriously. I think the CGI in The Flash is fine, but they need to make everything else around that work. And more of The Flash, and that's going to cost more, is to include more scenes with The Flash. That's why things are so limited too. We barely see any superhero fights half the time, is because they're holding their budget for their bigger episodes. So the writing is number one. The writing on the show is number one that needs to be improved. But yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I definitely don't believe most of what Grace Randolph says, but that makes sense. Considering everything that needs to be done in pre-production, production, filming, post-production, 2023 for Loki sounds about right. What's up, Michael? In the comics of The Walking Dead, Sebastian kills Rick Grimes while Rick are controlling the Commonwealth. Oh, okay, I got you. Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that because I haven't read all of the comics. I stopped reading after the governor came in and the show started to get into that. So I was like, I don't want to spoil the show. So I avoided a lot of that stuff afterwards. But since they've diverged so much, a lot of people have been like, how are they going to do this Commonwealth storyline without Rick? And we still have no idea where the fuck Rick is, or who took Rick, where Rick is. They still claim they're going to be doing these 3 Rick Grimes movies. But if who's going to really care about those if the people he's supposed to try to get back to, that story's just ended? I mean, he could pick back up with them. They could reintroduce where they are in the world now. But again, if they end the show without Rick or bringing Rick back into the fold, it's going to be, I just don't see a way where it won't be disappointing. What do you think they're going to do for the plot of What If Season 2? I think there's going to be consequences for the Watchers' involvement. Maybe from the other Watchers, or somehow all what they did just then causes some other multiversal threat that they did not foresee. So, I don't know. Could go either way. I see Stargirl Season 3 filming has started. Wonder who the big bad will be. Don't know. We are, we still have 4 episodes of the season left for Stargirl, I believe. Yeah. Got 4 more episodes. So I'm sure we'll find out one way or the other. I think he killed... They promoted Joel McHale to series regular for next season, too. So there's going to be a lot more original Starman next season. I think he kills Negan or Maggie, and they find out how the Commonwealth really is. I don't know. Maybe. It could be. He could do that. Right now, they're on like separate trajectories, separate storylines at the moment. So it could be Ezekiel that takes that place. It could be any of the group that's already there, but I don't know. Supergirl deserves praise for getting rid of the DEO and giving her a new base. Should the Flash get rid of Star Labs? I don't know. It does feel a little repetitive at this point, so I don't know. Could they do with a refresh? Maybe. Is it necessary? I don't think so. I think Star Labs is a little too ingrained. Lisa Bombad back. What's up, Loath Cat? Grace will block you on me if she isn't already. She doesn't take criticism well. Not yet. She hasn't yet. Let's see. Just make it Last of Us show with Joel Hunter years and ending with Joel meeting Tess and the birth of Ellie looking, and we have our new Walking Dead. And that could last 10 seasons. Oh, we'll see what happens with the version that we're getting. I like how they used John Wesley Shipp and Stargirl this past week. I thought it was much better than his season 7 Flash appearance. I agree with that. I liked it too. He was like the only person that was on Pat's side. He was the only person that had like a genuine heart, it seemed like. Everybody else just treats Pat like shit, and it just paints all of the JSA in this disgusting negative light, in my opinion. I don't know, man. I like that the Stargirl Season 2 dived deep into horror this season. Not every season needs to be action-packed. 9 out of 10 season, in my opinion. What would I rate it so far? Right? So far, I'd probably give it like an 8. An 8 out of 10, probably. But I agree. I like it. It's more psychological. We're diving into the trauma after last season, the fears of last season, the fears of the future for these characters, the insecurities of them in their roles as these new members of the JSA. I like it. I like it a lot. I actually really like the DEO, and the Supergirl hasn't been as good without it. I honestly don't feel like I don't know. I don't miss the DEO. I just kind of have like a nothing feeling about the DEO, if that makes any sense. In Germany, the Flash is in Germany, the Flash season 7 is in episode 13-14, the filler episode, and the community is completely pissed off. Oh yeah, no, I get you. So you're only now seeing what we went through with the season. Good luck. Once you're caught up with it, come check out my reactions. Also promoted Artemis Croc's parents to series regulars of Stargirl. Oh yeah, forgot about that. But I feel like they aren't coming back as villains from what we've seen so far. I think it would be really reductive for them to return as villains again after what they've done so far. But also, I wouldn't put it past them either. Dania here, Dancer, just got here. Love from London. Well, thank you. Much love back. I probably did not say your name right. You know what I like about the Last of Us show is, since I'm 14, if it's 8 seasons like it's been at the end, I would have grown up with the show. Fair enough. Let's see. Which of the Netflix Marvel shows would you want to continue on Disney Plus? Daredevil, Luke Cage, and Friends. Honestly, if I could just save them all, I would. But if I only had to pick one, it's going to be Daredevil. Do I miss Lex Luthor on Supergirl? I do. I don't think we are long for his absence. I think we'll see him back quite soon. Oh! Surprise guest star! What the hell? Iron Fist. You're going to come in with that. The answer is Iron Fist. Alright. Is this John or Greg? Because I'm going to have to create a vendetta against either one. No. I'm just going to say... Listen. Iron Fist, I think, gets more shit than it deserves. The season 1, sure, easy pickings. Iron Fist, season 2, I thought was a vast improvement. I enjoyed it a lot more, and I think the ending of season 2 had me at least enthralled at where that could go. But, gosh, that was a surprise. How do you guys have time to dick around over here? I appreciate it, though. Coming in here with Iron Fist. But no. Like I said, I think Greg would agree with you. Okay, so I think we narrowed it down to John. I'm making stream-alongs. Oh, yeah? How are you doing, man? Saw the shout-out this week. I don't think I would be a better John. There's only one John Humphrey, and it is you, my dude. Don't let Greg tell you otherwise. Stand up for yourself. Daredevil is the best Netflix MCU show. I mean, as a whole, yes. I'm one of the TRR circle mask underlings. Dude, you need to get yourself some angles, dude. Get yourself a triangle at least. Hell, maybe a star. Upgrade to an umbrella. Get an umbrella on your face. And just call them Gron. Next shout out, we'll have a mutiny. Haven't seen Daredevil yet? Oh, you need to watch it. You need to watch Daredevil. I think as a complete series, even, well, I don't know if you could consider any of them a complete series. But I think as a whole of what we got, Daredevil was the best from beginning to end. Each one of them, I felt like definitely had a banger season, except for Iron Fist. But like the others were always had some seasons that were just not nearly as good. Like Jessica Jones season 1 was some of the best that they made across all the shows. But season 2 and season 3 I thought were kind of disappointing. The Punisher season 1 was a 10 out of 10. Season 2, extremely disappointing. Luke Cage was like an 8 both times for me. So, but like Daredevil was like 9, 8, 10 for me if we're going through the seasons. Man, what a collab with the Rejects and Omni. Yeah, when we gonna talk again? John? Defenders was fun too. We need to have another debate. Not that we had a debate before. We were just pitching movie ideas the last time after the Joker came out. Do a collab reaction. I would love to. It's a little difficult when we're on opposite sides of the country to react to something. This is a collab. Anyway. But we did have that podcast thing that we did through, I think, whatchamacallit. I think we used Google Hangouts. It took us like an hour just to get that set up, which was funny. Would be rad though. I'm sure we can find a way. Well, I was planning on making a trip to the West Coast last year, but we saw how that happened. Those plans got derailed all to hell. Thanks to everything going on in the world right now. Will my hair ever reach John levels, Omni? That's when we will know we can truly compete. When our hair is of equal length. It's got to give it time. Next time will only take 40 minutes to get set up. Hey, if I'm there, it'll be easy. Nice collection got in the background. You can do a joint digital reaction, lockdown style. My hair is perfect, as is Omni. Oh, thank you, Deny. Pandemic time, best time to travel. Always. So what are you guys doing right now? I'm waiting on your Squid Game finale reaction. Defenders for me was a good show. Oh yeah, I agree. I liked it. I got a lot of shit for some reason, but I enjoyed the Defenders team up season personally. Favorite Lord of the Rings book. Well, I haven't actually finished the books, but I've seen the films numerous times. Food isn't great and it was $62 damn. I don't know, man. Probably the Two Towers is probably my favorite. What kind of wine am I drinking? It is a local brew, which is the wrong term for this. Honestly, it doesn't even say on the bottle. It's just a local winery. All I know is it's blackberry. I only get it local because the local one has, like, for whatever reason, has way more alcohol in it. Is the stream acting up for everybody? Here's $5 towards the next Omni X Real Rejects collab. The taxpayers demand it. Thank you, Marcus. How's the stream? My bitrate seems like it's starting to get a little unstable. John's in here sapping up all the bandwidth. Stream cut off me and played another video. Well, we're still going, at least. It's being a little shoddy at the moment. They need to do a reboot of Iron Fist and make Heroes for Hire. Yeah. I'd be fine with that. I miss Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Don't know why it's come to an end, though. Because it wasn't under Marvel Studios proper. So there was a lot of rights issues back with it. So kind of took a huge hit because of that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I don't know if it's YouTube or what, but my connection to their server right now is really not great. My internet's fine, but I think it's the bandwidth to the stream here. Stream is rejecting the real rejects. Get a pause here or there, but you're coming through good for the most part. That's good at least. So when should we expect the Squid Game finale, good sir? You should collab with other YouTube reactors. I have. I don't know why I said it like that. I have. There was the reactor wars that we had with a bunch of people, with Blind Wave, the Normies, Akasan, a couple other people. For whatever reason, John and Greg weren't invited or wasn't able to be there. I don't know the details. I didn't arrange it, but
It's like we had like Tasha and Trey were there as well. That was fun. We did 3 of those, but the person that arranged all of that, they've kind of fallen off of the reaction circle. So, and then I've been on the rejects before. It's been a while, but it was a lot of fun. A lot of fun. I'd love to always do it again, and I'm not opposed to it. It's just got to be with people I have a decent relationship with. I've also, I did a live stream with Akasan, with him and Unity, with Eunice. We did talking about season 7 of The Flash, because he wanted to get somebody that has not been hating The Flash to talk about The Flash with them, because they haven't been happy with the show for a long time. So they wanted a counterpoint opinion. So Akasan brought me on there, and we had about like an hour and a half long live stream talking about The Flash season 2 or season 7. I was on Jedi Jive at one point, so it's fun. We're pacifists. I don't know, man. Greg might cut some throats. Make a sacrifice to the router. I need to make a sacrifice to YouTube because it's not the router. It's just their stupid server. Every now and then, especially on the weekend, I think it's when a lot of people start to stream at once, their bandwidth takes a hit. It was already acting up mostly today too, because when my upload for what should have been like a quick upload for that video I just put up. Actually, it's finally up, or it's finally completed the upload, so I can make it live now if I wanted to. Which I'm just gonna go ahead and do, go ahead and make it public. Which is Paul over at Heavy Spoilers breakdown on season 1 of Squid Game. Dude, I can't stop talking about Squid Game, dude. Or thinking about Squid Game. That Akasan Flash live stream was fun. Yeah, and for me, who started off trying to defend it, like it just devolved into me agreeing with like everything they were saying. It's just for me, like I got different expectations for it, and I find fun in all of the camp and randomness that ends up kind of happening. Play Dead by Daylight? It's not really my kind of game. I've played it before. Not a huge fan. Honestly, with that type of game in mind, I had a lot more fun playing the Friday the 13th game before it died. I thought that was a lot of fun. YouTube is acting up like Instagram. Oh, great. Yes, and thank you, Omni, for asking, and thank you, RealJex, for giving us a date. Dude, I can't wait to watch your all's reaction to the finale. I really liking the journey with your alls. I don't know if you've with that being said, like, so I assume you've already watched the you've already recorded it. So did you update the subtitles, or were you still using the closed captioning for the final episode? I'm just curious if you're still in here. Don't tell me YouTube is down. Akasan didn't put up last week's Titans out of boredom. He put up a twofer the other day, watching both last week's and this week's, and yeah, he felt all the fatigue. I think all the disgruntled nature I think we're all getting at the moment. Yeah, I watched his reaction to both episodes earlier today while I was eating my lunch. I feel like I'm the only one in the world who hasn't watched Squid Game yet. And I'm still to this day getting people like, why aren't you watching it in English? And like, it just makes me cringe that anybody is watching it in English. But watch Squid Game. Favorite Johnny Depp performance? That's a good one. That's a good question. either Jack Sparrow or I forget the character's name, Secret Window, because I loved that movie, Secret Window, of his. Those would probably be my top picks for him. Yeah, shouted you out on it, as a matter of fact. Well, I appreciate that. I was like, I saw that and like, I guess I just lucked out on going with that version because I thought it weird. I was like, why is there English CC and just English? I was like, at the time I didn't realize the difference. And then apparently it was just making rounds on the internet for a while from Korean speakers and translators and stuff that the CC, because in its nature, closed captioning is meant to describe things to those who don't have hearing or are hard of hearing. So it describes settings, sounds, meanings of certain activities or whatever. So the translations are more or less a description of what is being said and not an exact translation. But from what I've understood, the option that just says English is fine as far as translations go. And I was just like told Greg about that like later whenever I was noticed that what you guys were watching. It was a little too late in the game, but so far it hasn't hampered your all's reactions at all. So don't like worry about it. It's like a huge thing, but it's been great. So just a little detail, because I didn't know how far you all were in it whenever I messaged you guys. I wish Alice in Borderland could have gotten the hype that Squid Game had. I've been looking up a little bit at Alice in Borderland, not like the story or anything like that, just like the synopsis, looking at it, because I was looking at a couple of different Netflix shows to pick up kind of this month, one of which I'm looking at is possibly doing, like, because it's Halloween, picking up one of Mike Flanagan's shows. So I was looking at Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, Bly Manor, but since a lot of people on the Squid Game reactions have mentioned Alice in Borderland, I looked at it. And I kind of just looking at it, I kind of see, at least on first viewing, why I think Squid Game probably had a bigger impact than that. Just on first glance, because it's got the video game aspect of it. It's got like the alter ego aspect of it, from what I understand. It's like in a different world. And I think the draw and the intoxication of Squid Game is just the focus on the real, the here, the now, the our world, the drawbacks of it, and the human nature. And I think that's what resonates a lot with people, because it's normal, everyday people put through these things. And would you do some of the things some of these people would do and whatnot? So it's a lot of fun, a lot of fun. We'll do a second react series to the English subs. No. No. The English dub, maybe. So I found this funny, and not to like call anybody out because their comment section called them out for it for me. Not that I was going to. The way I worded that is dumb. So previewed, just played it on Netflix as is for their first reaction, and by default on Netflix is the English dub. Now, it didn't hamper their reaction to it, but that's the first time I heard it with the English dub, having already watched all of the episodes, and it is so funny and cringy, and the deliveries are so bad. I was like, if I watch this for the first time, I have to say, like, if my first experience was watching it with the dub, I do not think I would have been able to immerse myself in it half as much as I did. Because there would be serious moments where I would probably be laughing because of the dub. So, and it's just not the performance. Like, I think sub versus dub is a very different conversation you can have when you're watching animation, because you're just copying over the screen. The performances aren't linked with the visual, with animation. With live action, you're hearing someone else's performance over top of someone else's physical performance, and they don't match. If you get a really good one, they might be able to, but then there's no way to lip sync with live action. So there's always going to be a disconnect. So I would much rather hear and see the original performance and have it translated to me in the subtitles than to have someone else's performance attempt to replicate what is happening on screen. There's always this disconnect. And anytime I see it, my brain automatically takes me, and this is a me problem. I don't know if this is an everyone problem, but for me, I grew up watching a lot of English dub Godzilla stuff because I watched a lot of Godzilla when I was growing up. And there was always that shtick of the dub and the lips and the mouths not syncing up and that stuff. It was a running joke in Kung Pao. Like, it was something that I grew up with being this thing. And like, the moment I saw it and heard it, it instantly hits like this funny bone in my brain and it just makes it impossible for me to, long story short, it makes it impossible for me to take it seriously, especially when the performances are so vastly different. Anyway, long story short, we're done. Let's see. Johnny Depp was so good in Black Mask. What is Squid Game anyway? Long story short, bunch of people hard up for money, unknowingly get involved in a game to win money that is a little more nefarious than it seems at first. That's as much. If you haven't seen it at all, go into it. Watch it. So good. Johnny Depp was so good in Black Mass. I loved him in Public Enemies. I don't think I've seen Black Mass, and I don't think I've actually seen Public Enemies. What's up, Daniel? Wow, that What If episode finale was cool. It was cool. It was pretty cool. I will say that. Halloween Kills comes out next week. Dude, I'm so excited. I cannot wait for Halloween Kills, man. I am psyched. I want to get that soundtrack too, the new like remix to the theme and all that. They put a couple of them out online, and I don't know, it's just so fun, so beautiful. I like the remix of the score. It's hauntingly energetic. Do you agree with the Dune director's comments about Marvel movies? He said they're just copy and paste of other movies. I feel like that's the low bar, easy way to view them. I think what he's trying to say is they have a formula. And yes, they do have a formula. They do have this through line that does make them very similar to other Marvel movies. And that the only difference is that they are emulating other genres within their own genre. Which is true. But it doesn't discredit them. But that is also like, you know, a common complaint or commentary that you would hear from people who make these types of movies. Because the only superhero movie that Denis said he would want to do, if he was to ever do one, would be a Batman film. He would love to do a Batman film. That's the only superhero movie he said he's interested in ever doing. But he's also at the same time come out and said he would love to do a James Bond film. But at the same time, you can impose that same kind of argument with the Marvel films to James Bond films, because they also kind of have a formula. You can even say that there's a similar formula between Daniel Craig's films and Sean Connery's films. Even though their characterization and the tone is very different, they still have a very similar formula to how they are constructed. So, I don't know. What's up, Uminum? What's up? Which I cannot see how Infinity War is a copy and paste of Homecoming as a copy and paste. Yeah. Flash Season 8 is looking exciting. Season 7 was COVID fault, I hope. Again, there's a lot to say that COVID wasn't the only culprit in Season 7. But I really hope with a more COVID-adapted plan moving forward. Season 8 will not suffer as poorly. Is Google Box a thing in the States? It's just a show with people watching TV. I hear the dub for the first time on that. Felt wrong. I don't know what Google Box is. I don't know. I haven't ever heard that term. Just saw the Injustice animated movie last night. Wow, it was a bloody good animated movie. Millions died in that movie. I mean, that's not what makes a movie good, but I'm glad that there was a body count and it was bloody. How are people watching it? I've tried to find it, even the digital version, and I can't. Where is it? No, Symbiotic, I'm getting your messages. I'm just a little behind. I'm sorry. The scene with Brendan Fraser this week where he speaks Japanese was a weird mesh of funny and touching. I agree. My guy turning into a wise man. Oh. A wise man or a wine man? I just drink it. I can't tell you the difference between any kind of wine except that red really gives me a headache. And I don't know if John's still in here, but I'm sure he's busy. Thank you so much for popping in, dude. And really, for just the love that you guys give, your support, your comments, and just the weird and odd back and forth, and how, interestingly, Greg loves to keep pitting me against you in all of the shout outs. It either ends up perverted or in some kind of weird comparison between the two of us, because we're the white ones in this relationship. But it's okay. I love you. And I love Greg. It's the wine. Are you looking forward to Batwoman Season 3? I'm willing to give it a shot, but I don't trust the writers. I mean, I like Season 2. I liked Season 1. They have their problems, for sure. And Season 2, the first half of Season 2 had some really bad writing. But like, the second half, I think, really kind of pulled it out. I think they turned things around in the second half of the season strongly. So, I don't know. With all the announcements of Killer Croc, Mad Hatter, Poison Ivy, Mr. Freeze, all making an appearance in the next season, I am interested and highly intrigued at how they're going to do it. Some things I've heard that annoy me is her mother, or seemingly who might be her mother, this other person coming in and buying out Wayne Enterprises and taking over Wayne Enterprises, them pushing out the Wayne family, pushing out the Wayne legacy, and pushing out the Kane legacy rubs me the wrong way. Haven't seen it either. Annoy me, that part annoyed me with the Villeneuve comment was saying that it makes people like zombies. I'm not sure what he's trying to say like that, but it sounded a bit elitist. Yeah, I don't know how to interpret that. Makes people like zombies. I think he means because it turns your brain off, you don't have to think about it. And people are just hungering for the next one. But that seems like such a surface level complaint. Yeah, I don't know. It seems like the complaint of somebody that hasn't watched any of these movies. Levi Oliver, yes, I'm looking forward to Batwoman Season 3. Heard they got new writers and A-list villains. Could be good. I'll give you the link in Discord if you want. Sure. Sure thing, Daniel. I'd appreciate that. I found Injustice on a Yarmati site, too. Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay. Well, I want, like, a legit version of it. Anyway, Google Box is a show that is people reacting to TV shows at home. So it's just a show about YouTube reactors without it being YouTube. Someday we'll have us fight for supremacy with a broken pool cue. I mean, just like the Joker did for his right-hand man, right? Dark Knight. See who wins. May the man with the better hair win. I can't. I couldn't hurt John. I couldn't hurt good old Humphrey. Batwoman season 2, second half was decent. Love Black Mask. Don't give up on the show just yet. We might. I might. I don't know, man. I feel so conflicted because I doubted I was going to cover Legends or Batwoman, and now with the announcement of shit, why can't I ever remember his name? That Leonard Snart might be coming back for one of the episodes of Legends. They're like, hey, we're gonna dangle this here. Maybe you'll want to check it out. And then Batwoman over here is just like, we got Batwing. We got all your favorite villains. Come give us a look. And I'm like, god damn it. We'll see. We'll see. I'll probably guilt myself into covering both of them, but I don't know if my brain can handle it. Because I'd like a break. I'd like to do some other shows, to be honest. Because I did feel myself getting really burnt out on both of those shows last season. Have I seen Lock and Key? It's a Netflix show that's like if you react to it. Would love if you would react to it. I've heard of it. Honestly, don't know anything about the show. I don't know what it's about. I can look into it for sure. I mean, there's so many shows that I have recommended to me on the daily. So many shows that come out that even I'm interested in, but just never have the time for. Like, I've still not watched a single episode of Stranger Things ever. That's one of those shows. Umbrella Academy, haven't watched it at all. Like, I've never seen Lost. I've never seen Supernatural. I've never seen... there's like so many shows going on right now. Foundation, none of these Star Trek shows, none. I haven't watched Lovecraft Country. It's just insane. Regular people watching TV shows. That, interesting. There's so much shows, too many shows. So I just kind of commit to the ones that I'm already kind of in, that are already in my cycle. And at this point, some of those shows are starting to burn me out, as you guys have learned with season 6 of Legends and Batwoman, and season 7 of Flash started me down that road to worry about my enjoyment of the Flash moving forward. But we'll just have to play it by ear and see. But as far as like, I think like doing Squid Game was interesting because it was like, it blew up and it made me so curious to check it out that I just had to. And it ended up being really refreshing doing something completely outside of our wheelhouse, you know, because a lot of stuff we watch is pop culture driven, like Star Wars, Marvel, DC, Cobra Kai, like those things that have these deep, long rooted roots and everything. So it was nice to kind of get something that got away from it. It was just so different. If it's pretty much a reaction show, but everyone is at home on their couches, friends and family. That's interesting. I'm afraid Batwoman would just ruin the villains like it did with Hush. Oh yeah, they did Hush dirty. But why? Seriously, nobody is asking you to react to Legends. I know. It's just how my brain works. Like, cause I feel guilty because I'm kind of taking away a show from the lineup, and I have like a weird OCD with leaving things uncompleted. So like, I don't know, because I've watched every Arrowverse show from the beginning onward, except for Supergirl. I rage quit that show during season 2, and only to prepare for Crisis on Infinite Earths did I ever go back to Supergirl. And I caught myself up on it. And, you know, there were some things that I missed that were decent, but there was still a lot of stuff in there that I just couldn't get over. And thankfully, these more recent seasons, while the writing overall hasn't been that great, they've gotten away from a lot of the things that used to really upset me. From what I've heard, cannot confirm or not, Google Vox also records people's reactions to the news. Stranger Things is really good. You should watch Stranger Things. Yeah, and I'm gonna miss out on this Stranger Things season 4 hype for sure, more than likely. I swear Stranger Things is so good. I mean, it's just like there's too much to watch. Too much. I don't know. We'll just have to wait and see. Because I honestly, I don't know. But I do think that I might watch Haunting a Hill House for this month. Please react to Sweet Tooth, one of the producers of Robert Downey Jr. I got to watch the first episode before it aired on Netflix, so I got to see it early, which is one of the reasons, obviously, I didn't record a reaction to it or a review for it. I didn't mind the first episode. I thought it was well produced. It was all right, but it didn't really grip me for the first episode, so I didn't follow it through to the subsequent episodes. I haven't heard anything bad about it, but I don't know. Something about that first episode, while it was good, it didn't loop me into it. Marvel and DC is different from all the shows you mentioned, though. Comic book shows hit different, man. Come on. Yeah, but I would also say that Marvel and DC don't... I haven't watched a Marvel or DC show that hits me harder than, like, a Breaking Bad or Game of Thrones at the peak of its quality. They're kind of all over the place, and there's, like, a little bit of a mix and match. Well, I love them. I love superhero stuff. I love coming back to that world of optimism and, like, all that junk. There's something refreshing about something that's just like a purebred, like, drama or departure from a lot of that. Something different for me. But it's also hard because there's a lot of shows, and I got very little time. So I'm always on guard about if my time is going to be well invested if I check out this show. Like, is my time that I am dedicating to this thing in the end going to be worth it? Because my time is valuable. I have limited time. So, like, I have to at least have some kind of certainty that I'm going to get something out of giving that time to this show. That's why I'm so picky and hesitant, even when people recommend me stuff, about if I'll like it or if it'll be worth my time, because I don't want to waste that time and then end up hating something. Or worse, even if I don't like something or think something's not good, as long it can be entertaining. You know, we all like bad movies. The Room is one of those, and it's a fun thing to react to and watch and have fun with it. But, like, it's like, you know, if it just does nothing for me and, like, leaves me just like, that was an episode. It's just, I don't know. I'm sorry, but Doom Patrol is trash. I don't care. Well, you don't have to apologize for opinion, but I think it's the best superhero show on TV. My opinion. That's a lie. I think the Watchmen series was the best. Second is Doom Patrol. It feels like Titans, you don't have to watch it if you don't want to. Thing is, I do want to watch it, but I don't know if I just don't know if it's going to be worth the effort to spend 4 hours a night to make reaction videos for it. Because I feel bad if I'm watching it, but not sharing my thoughts and feelings with you guys. I don't know. It's a weird dichotomy that I've kind of developed with this channel and the shows I watch. Like, it's weird. It feels like Titans is unable to use Batman in the suit in the show. Instead, we get a stunt double in season 1. Oh yeah, for sure. There's like a weird WB thing with Batman being on TV. I give you the link on Discord. You're gonna love it. All right, cool. If you're drained, you could do episode 1 through 4 reviews, break up the seasons that way, skip the reaction parts, take it easy. And I've thought about that as well. I've thought about doing that too. It's just, I'm sure a lot of people have gotten used to me talking about things a certain way. And I'm one of those guys that I feel bad. I'm going to feel bad no matter what I do. What made me rage quit Supergirl? It was the season 2 finale of with what they did with Superman, and just with how they handled the characters, not just Superman but Kara as well. The writing was so bad that no matter what in those early seasons, they could not do anything to raise Kara above Superman without hindering Superman. Like, there was and it wasn't well written. None of it was. It was all blatant, unsubtle, and it just came off every time as just disrespect to me. And I just, after that, I got so mad in that, like, there's that 2-part in the final 2 episodes of season 2. I was like, I'm done. And I didn't watch another episode until the couple weeks leading into Crisis on Infinite Earths. I don't like the HBO Max DC shows except Young Justice. I mean, I think Young Justice was better when it was just on Cartoon Network. I didn't really enjoy season 3 all that much. Titans, I don't like. Even though I've enjoyed season 3 more than I've enjoyed season 1 and 2, and I've been liking season 3. It is my least favorite DC show. But Doom Patrol, I fucking love it. So it's not for everybody. I get that, but I love it. What's up, Larson? Welcome back, my guy. Hey, are we still going to be streaming DC Fandom? We will be. We will be. So hopefully YouTube behaves that day, but we'll have to wait and see. See people on Twitter wanting Beast Boy on Doom Patrol. No, it's a different Earths now, but the actor would probably be happier too. Ryan Potter always seemed unhappy with his Titans treatment. Yeah, I mean, Beast Boy's not been handled very great. Character-wise, he's been at least the one least affected by the poor writing, but they can't really find a good thing to do with him to make him matter overall. So who knows? It could be better off having him return to Doom Patrol, even though they established that the Doom Patrol in the show is a different Doom Patrol than the one that appeared in Titans, which I don't know why they made that decision. But it is what it is. I would be more than happy if they brought him back over into Doom Patrol. But then again, the tone of Doom Patrol, the show, I'm not sure how that would coincide with a character like Beast Boy, like a young, bright, happy character like Beast Boy. I think Doom Patrol isn't what many people expect from a comic book superhero show, so a lot of people reject it for that. I'm sure they do. It's just, while it's a lot of crude humor, there's a lot of deep themes that are explored in it, and a lot of psychological explorations in it, because it's more, unlike all the other shows, it more so than any of the other shows that are on there right now is about the characters themselves, more so than the heroing. And I like it. I like that. Ain't never watching it. Okay, so you're telling me you've never watched it. I mean, that's all on you, Symbiotic, but you're the odd man out here. Came back to say goodnight, Dad. Please wake me up at 7 a.m. tomorrow for work. Love you. It's 11:20 per me. Well, hope you set your alarm, because I will probably still be asleep and you will not wake up. Let's see. And guys, if you're not, remember, there's a link to our Discord in the description of the video. Feel free to come hang out and chat. I try to keep my eye on it most times of the day just to kind of interact with everybody. What Supergirl did to Superman was criminal. People like John Campea still don't forget. Yeah, and I at least, one thing that I think John Campea misses a little bit on that is that the Superman and Lois, because he stopped watching the second John Diggle showed up. The thing I think he forgets is that their history has been rewritten after Crisis on Infinite Earth. So the comparison of the Superman that we were watching as Superman and Lois has a different history than the Superman that we saw in those early Supergirl episodes. He was like, oh, they just confirmed that is the same Superman they've butchered earlier. So while that is and isn't true, I understand where he's coming from, but I have an optimism moving forward with Superman and Lois because of the retconning of their past. So in my head, until they confirm a lot of that stuff happened in his timeline, for all I know, none of that stuff has happened in this universe because this universe has a completely different perspective on Superman. And as long as they don't deviate from that in these final couple of seasons or whatever, we'll see. We'll see. But right now, I'm trying to just ignore that the old Superman that they referenced even exists because he got rewritten. Oliver brought him back and rewrote their entire pasts. So, like, even Kara's is different. We don't even know how many of her old story arcs actually happened in this new continuity. Plus, I think Season 3 Young Justice is a stepping stone, getting more mature. And Season 4 will be amazing. I hope so. Because I really didn't really feel like Season 3 was going very anywhere, really. So I'm hoping Season 4 is interesting and holds me into it a little bit better. Don't feel bad about not reacting. Mental health is important. You can spend hours reacting to something and someone dies by Carnival Tower at the end. Oh my god. It's because those writers are untalented and didn't want to follow continuity, so they set it on a different Earth. That's so lame. Another reason for me to never watch it. Sorry. Okay, now I think you're just being... just reading into what you're saying. If you say they're untalented, you haven't watched it, you don't know, because the writing is brilliant. And just because they wanted to do their own thing doesn't make them untalented, and doesn't just... They want to be beholden to Titans, which is a train wreck of a show. So honestly, with that statement, I can't take any. It's your opinion, but you don't hold any. You're with how you worded that, you kind of lost a little respect for me and to like how I'm going to approach your opinion. Because that's just unnecessarily berating, and I don't like that. Let's see. But yeah, we're getting a little late in here. What's up, Sadistic Shane? Keep up the good work. Love the reactions. Thank you, man. We're probably going to bring it to a close. And we'll see. Just, again, I say this every week. Who knows if I'll come back later tonight or not to play, just kind of have a chill gaming stream or whatever. I might not. Right now, YouTube is still kind of acting up, and I don't know how it'll handle a game being played simultaneously with the connection going on at the moment. But we're gonna start to wrap it up. I don't know if John's still in here, but thank you, man, so much for stopping by. That was a happy little surprise. Thank you, buddy. But everybody else, really appreciate the conversations. I appreciate all the super chats, and all the back and forth, guys. Remember, come join the Discord. Links in the description of this video, description of all the videos that we have here on the channel. So if you need that link, it's there. Hope to see you there. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video, in the next comments, or next week with the DC fandom live stream, because we're going to be covering the entire day. Assuming that they don't put something out that gets our stream blocked, like the Snyder Cut trailer, which got our stream blocked, and I had to keep relaunching the stream multiple times throughout the day. So hopefully it doesn't get insane like that, but we'll just have to find out and play it by ear, guys. Anyway, love your reactions. Keep it up. Thank you, man. Thank you, all you guys. But guys, that's it for today, and I'll catch you all next time. Take care, everybody.